ahead and start talking to me about something you're watching or collecting right now.
I started watching another drama, not as like intense as that last one I told you about that was
Mm-hmm.
like killing me slowly on the inside. This one is called Romance is a Bonus Book.
Really? I've never heard of that.
It's has the same actor as the other um drama that I
Mm-hmm.
watched, the W one, but it's way just like chill and relaxed, like no sci-fi anything, just very like
Huh.
a lot cute, like more the pace that I was looking for. Like when you have a tag called romantic comedy, you're thinking romantic comedy, not like high suspense, like people getting
Right.
shot every other episode and like
Oh my gosh, right?
intense and just like killing me on the inside, and then going to work and be like, oh my god, I need to go home and watch the next episode or this is gonna kill me.
Oh, I am in that right now. I am in that right now. I have not been addicted to a show in so long until this one that I'm watching.
Oh no.
It's so good.
Is that the one that you said about?
The one what?
That you said, didn't you tweet something about one that you were watching? Like you and your
Yes,
dad were watching?
yes. This show is called Feast of the Gods, and it's a Korean show. Of course, because we're talking about K-dramas right now. And it is listed as romance drama, and it is melodrama to the max. It is fantastic.
They're really good at like hooking you in.
Oh,
It's no joke. Those writers have like learned the whole idea of what a cliffhanger means.
oh, absolutely. That's what this show has. Imagine if Iron Chef Korea was mixed with your melodrama romance.
Oh my god.
So it's about these four main characters, and they're all chefs, and it's about this restaurant called Ararang, and it's this royal kind of cuisine restaurant that works with the government, so they handle all these high-ranking officials. Like in one episode, the president of Spain visits, and it's a big deal about the menu and getting all the ingredients perfect. But the main
Hmm.
driving force is this plot where Ararang basically hires a head chef based on a cooking competition, and the
Interesting.
and the government helps like coordinate it, and then the owner, who's called Grandma, the owner also officiates it. So it starts out with these two women, and they're competing, and they have this intense competition. Like right from episode one, it's Iron Chef, and it's glorious. Like the music, the drama, the costumes, and then the show like slowly progresses into the main cast, which is their daughters, and now their daughters are competing basically.
Ah, interesting, interesting.
And let me describe some of the things that are in this show because it's so good. There's Grandma herself, and she'll pull out a stick and beat your ass anytime that you are disrespectful, which is awesome. But, like, judges of the show are all women that are, like, at the highest of their level, whether it's a chef or
Mm.
business or government. So it's nice to see, like, all these women in power. Chef competition where chefs from around the world can visit, including the elusive Hemil, who is a chef that wears a mask and hides his identity.
Oh my god.
So it's got a little bit
So
of that with it. Gwen, it sounds crazy, but it's so good. It's only in a Korean drama where there is a scene where you're like on pins and needles because
without
someone,
like the
yeah, yeah, you're on pins and needles because someone might unplug a fridge. Or, oh my god, they're about to taste the cake. Or, oh no, she has the locket. Like, it's stuff like that that makes K-drama so good.
it is. Like I never like everyone always talked about it and I never like dove in because it's like there's so many, I don't know, and there's such
Yeah,
long episodes, but like once you
yeah.
pull in, you're like, "Oh no, what have I done?"
Oh, you're addicted, like every night. And what's great is I've got my parents watching with me. Like we have little recaps about what we think's gonna happen next. We argue about who's best boy, which is great. My dad likes the Mass Chef. You can't convince him otherwise.
Uh
But I like the
my
nice
my
guy.
friend told me about one. He's like, "You should really watch this one." And I saw the cover. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh,
But I think it's the one where a girl gets like stuck in North Korea and like a North Korean soldier like tries to help her escape or something.
oh
And
wow.
he's like, "This one is so good." And I was like, I believe I saw a clip of someone recording their dad ugly sobbing to this. So I
Oh
don't think I want to
no.
watch that right now.
Oh.
So I think I will pass.
And I think the hardest part is just finding these shows. It's like hard to find them like even streaming or just get people talking about them, you know?
Hmm.
So whenever I get a
Yeah.
suggestion, like, oh God, I love it. And it's one thing that my dad and I will like always watch together. So it's like, oh,
Hmm.
please give me more K-drama and J-drama suggestions down in the comments, please.
I don't know if you've ever looked at Viki, but Viki has a lot of streaming on there.
Oh, no, I haven't. I'm going to do that now that you've said that.
They do have free, but I have heard that their ads are kind of ridiculous in their
Oh,
free
yeah.
version. But I
Okay.
think the subscription is like $4 or something, so it's not too much. I mean, especially if you find a lot on there that you like,
Oh,
then it's
sure,
kind of
sure.
like worth it.
To me, it's worth it to pay just not to deal with ads, so I'm fine with that.
I'm fine if it's like every once in a while, but like from what someone described, it's just as bad as like Hulu ads.
Oh, I
And
see.
I know you know how every once in a while there'll be like a really short anime. They probably use it like as a time to like fit in between like this one episode and this another anime or something, just because they need like an extra 5 minutes or whatever.
Right, right.
So this anime was literally, I think, 30 seconds or like a minute. Started watching, it had an ad because it was on Hulu. I was like, hey, whatever, it's beginning, it's whatever. And then it played another ad halfway through, and I was like, but I literally only watched 30 seconds of the show. And then it played an ad at the end and wouldn't let me skip to the next episode. And then I complained about it on Twitter. And then the Twitter help was like, oh, well, the amount of ads depends on how long it goes. I'm like, this show is 30 seconds long. And then
Oh,
they never
that's
replied.
like unacceptable in my mind.
Yeah, I was like, I can't even watch this. Like, it's one thing if it's like before and after, but in between a 30-second or like a minute long show, like, come on.
Yeah, at
No,
that
you
point
did
it's
it
just too much.
right. You did it beginning, middle, and end. If it was a movie, you would have more, but your system auto does it beginning, middle, end, regardless
Yeah,
of timestamp.
yeah, yeah.
It's noise.
That's just too much.
They have also Chinese dramas, Korean, and Japanese on there, from what I know.
Oh, well then I'll definitely have to check
So
that out because once we finish this, I know that my dad is gonna need another show like right away.
he's
So
gonna be like, "And what's next now?"
he's gonna be like, put it in. Let's start. Come on. So the big thing that I did recently was go to the movie theater to watch the Demon Slayer movie. And
Oh, me and my sister, we went to go see the Cruella movie.
oh wow, how was that? Just out of morbid curiosity, I must know.
It was actually a lot better than I thought.
Okay.
No, she doesn't kill any dogs. I know everyone kept asking me that. I'm like, no, she doesn't kill any dogs.
Why am I like
Um,
okay with that character doing that though? So that wasn't even a question for me.
you're like it kind of like someone was like, what makes her wants to kill a dog? Like when you like the story that they tell, it's kind of like the backstory of Cruella and how Cruella became to be and why she became kind of an evil person and like everything
Right,
that's
yeah.
happened to her. Like
Like what led to
you would
that?
probably want to do evil things too. Like she's been through a lot.
Like that's the thing. If I'm watching someone who's evil, like I expect to see evil. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking for
Right.
a
They
moral
do
story
evil
from this
things.
person. I
It's
want to see either what they're doing or an explanation as to why.
I mean, I definitely would. I mean, if you especially like kind of like Disney villains in any way, shape, or form, I think you would really like the movie.
Ah, how do you feel about the Disney live actions?
I haven't watched too many of them.
Same.
Um, I got like maybe 20 minutes into Aladdin and then I turned it off. I
Oh,
did not watch
you are not the
The
only
Lion
one I've
King.
heard that from. Like three other people said that
It
to me, and I was like, oh, I'll stay away.
it just like wasn't it. I did like the Cinderella movie. I watched that a few times and I did like I think I've seen both of the Maleficent movies. I know I've seen the first one, and I did like the Maleficent movie.
Oh yeah, okay. I've been meaning to
Um,
watch the Maleficent ones. I actually like the Beauty and the Beast one. I don't feel
I
like it's
haven't
this
seen them yet.
it's not the same as the animated. It's kind of nice in its own way, but it's also kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit stilted and strange, but I like it.
Mm.
So
Well, that's
that one's
good.
not bad. Like it's something you can sit through and the music's pretty. The sets are really gorgeous in it. Yeah, for the most part, like I don't get excited when I see like Disney live action.
I mean, I guess so far I've only liked. I mean, Cinderella. I mean, there's been so many versions of Cinderella that I feel like it didn't bother me because I've seen so many different versions of Cinderella. But like, there
Oh yeah,
hasn't
yeah, for
been
sure.
any other version of like Lion King. There's been no, at least Disney's rendition of like Lion King or Disney's rendition of Aladdin. Like it's was the animated and then the live action. I did see that they casted Snow White.
Gosh, that is such a just quintessential animated movie to me that I just, yeah, that was the most recent one that I was like, I can't even muster any sort of excitement for this announcement.
That was their first full-length movie they ever did, so I feel like they have a lot of big shoes to fill to like
Yes.
make it worth it.
It's crazy. If you ever go back and look at old photos of like the premiere, they treated it like a star-studded Hollywood event. It was like the thing of the season to go see animation done as a masterpiece. And I wish animation had that kind of acclaim and like love now, because
Hmm.
now it almost feels kind of saturated, and especially in Western audiences, if everyone thinks it's, oh, it's a childish medium.
Well, that's why a lot of people are like, I don't understand why adults want to go to Disneyland or Disney World, and it's like, because why, as adults, do we have to stop enjoying things that, like, we finally have jobs, we finally have money to enjoy the things we enjoyed as children. We can finally
Exactly.
like treat ourselves to like the nicer things of that fandom, like getting a nice pair of like Mickey earrings. Maybe they're made out of actual gold and you spend like $150 on it instead of like the cheap stuff that turns your ears green and
Owning
they
all the
fall
nice
apart and look
posters,
terrible after a
owning all
month.
the nice DVD sets, that kind of thing.
Right, getting the steel book, getting the special edition, the limited edition, the like limited run stuff. I don't think people understand that it's not children who spend their $10 allowance a month on these things that are keeping these businesses open. It's the adults that are indulging themselves.
Well, yeah, there has to be a certain amount of funding to keep certain artistic endeavors alive. So the
Right.
adult fandom is also important to that, no matter what it is.
Right. Exactly. And it's so mind-blowing where it's like you said, animation has been such like, oh well that's childish. And it's like, really?
Yeah, for
Really?
something
I
so
mean,
artistic, it's been sidelined.
right. Something that literally has sometimes can take years to complete. Like stop motion does not
Oh yeah.
happen in a month. It happens over a very long period of time.
Oh, it's crazy to me.
Hmm.
That's why it's nice to find like other collectors and other people in the community that love it as much as you do.
Yeah, because it's so. I feel like some people may be into it, but they're not like they'll like, oh, I'll go see the new Disney movie. But it's like, are you into Disney? Like you may enjoy Disney, but are
Yeah.
you into Disney? You may enjoy anime, but are you into anime? You
Yeah, because
know?
there is a difference. I actually
Right.
remember having a conversation with a coworker who said, I don't care what Disney puts out as long as my child can be in a theater for 2 hours and away from me.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of her like feelings toward it, and I was like, ooh, that that says so much more about you.
Says so much more that I don't want to invite you over to my birthday party anymore.
Yeah, you hang over there, honey. So I did go see the Demon Slayer movie, and it was just so nice to go to a theater again. It
Yeah.
was just so pleasant to go again. The movie itself was very good. It was more of an extension of the series.
Mm.
So it had the same director that did like the first 5 episodes of the series. It did very well. Do you know how much like gross money it's made up to right when it started streaming?
When did it come out in theaters?
Came out in October of 2020 in Japan, and then like pandemic kind of stopped it from rolling out over here. So then it came back in
Hmm.
2021, and just kind of, as theaters kept opening, it was one of the things people could go see. Worldwide, it's made over 500 million.
Holy crap. Well, I mean, if you think about it, it came out worldwide. I don't want to say at a good time, but like
Oh
when
no, but
theaters
but
started
that's
to
so
open
interesting because
like
it did.
sporadically.
It did come out at a good time. Like right when people needed something to watch.
Right, and they could go out to movie theaters and everything like that because there was no other really options to go see anything else, and it's like, "Oh my god, I can finally go see an anime in theaters," and it's like everyone probably just
Yeah.
rushed,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
regardless of what it was, like, "I'm gonna go see this."
Well, yeah, exactly. I was always going to go see it because it is actually an arc from the series. So if you want to stay in step with it chronologically, it's the train arc, it's the next arc in the series. So it's interesting to me that they're doing this and it's so successful, but I wonder if this is going to change the way studios do anime movies, because this one being part
Mm.
of the canon means like people wanted to go see it for that, you know?
Yeah,
So I
because so
wonder,
many anime movies end up
yeah.
being, like, a preview of like what's happened, like
Or just a side story, something that, it isn't canon, so it doesn't feel like this pressure to go see it, It's for the fans,
right.
almost. The other thing that's so interesting is it is now the #1 highest grossing anime film in history because of that. It beat Spirited Away.
I
So
think I saw
it's the
something
new.
where it was like, is it going to beat Spirited Away? And I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was
I
back
don't
when it was
know,
really
but
close. Yeah.
ah, that's crazy. I mean, that's amazing though.
Yeah, and I think that also kind of helps the draw for people because
Mhm.
people are starting to see, like, oh, this was a really popular anime. Everyone was talking about it back in 2019, and now it's got the most popular anime movie in history. So I think I need to go see it. Like, I think that helps draw people in.
I mean, that may have encouraged people to watch the series to be able to go watch the movie.
Yeah, and they won't be disappointed. It's very much like the series. I was happy with it. I did not cry because I had already read the manga, because this is a very intense arc.
Ah, I think I watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes of that anime.
Yeah, it's very shonen.
And
Unless you're into that, it's kind of, you know, hard to get into.
sometimes I am like, well, maybe not. I like to say sometimes I am, but then I think about it and I was like, probably not. I mean,
Yeah, no,
I
I
didn't think
completely
it was
get
a
it.
I didn't think it was bad in any means, and that's why I stopped.
You know what it
I don't
is?
know.
It's a very good shonen. It's everything you expect a shonen anime to be, but I don't
Hmm.
know if it crosses the line where it convinces people to like become shonen fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's
makes
excellent.
sense.
It's one of my favorites. I really like it. They picked a good arc because it was short enough and perfect size for a movie. It had a minimal amount
Mm.
of new characters, so they only had to focus on some new ones. Oh yeah, a lot of the like extra cast, because it's a demon train where the demon puts the people to sleep. You don't have to animate like the background characters as much. So it just
Uh,
everything really came together where it was just a very, very good set for a movie.
so they could really focus on the
Yeah,
characters, like
and
the
yeah,
main characters.
it is very good because it focuses on the characters and the animation of the action. The fight scenes in this movie are breathtaking. I think some of the
That's
3D they
good.
used was weird. Like it looked really kind of off.
I
I
feel like you're
still
probably the same with me when you run into a CGI in an anime and it's like, oh, CGI.
it's
I
almost
just
like
don't like it.
it's like if it's done well, it fits. If it's not done well, and I'm not saying this is done poorly, but it's more like I really notice it and it's distracting.
Hmm.
So it doesn't take away from the movie. It might just be me being picky. I don't know. It could be. It could very well be. I also want to say, just because it is the highest grossing movie doesn't mean it'll be the most amazing movie you've ever seen. But it is very good. And that's all I
Good.
really wanted to say about it.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you got to go and see it in theaters and not just stream it.
Yeah, it was just nice to go, and it was like, it was nice to see the experience of like teenagers coming into the theater and they're all like super excited about it. Like this one kid was so excited. He was a teenager, and his mom had come with him, and he wanted his mom to have a good time, like so bad. He was like,
Mm.
hold on, you just wait here." And he like ran out of the theater, and then he came back with like 2 giant popcorns, all this soda, all this candy. He's like pushing all this food onto
Oh,
her, like, "Oh, I got this for you." And she's like, "What the? I'm not gonna eat this." But he was trying so hard. It was very sweet.
that's adorable.
It was
it's always,
so
I feel like it's
nice.
so hard to like for parents to be like encouraging about these things. Like I run into so many things where
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I
yeah.
have to hide it or I don't really talk about it around my family and it's just like I never had that and I just it's so strange
Yes,
to me.
yes, yes. Yeah, because we've
I
always had
don't
really supportive parents that are like, "Oh, going back to the anime thing, are ya?" It's like, yeah.
right, exactly. I one time went over to my dad's and he goes, "Was it your Korean boys on the new Samsung
Oh my
commercials?"
God, that's so
Yes,
cute.
Dad. It was
It, it
BTS on
it
the
was
Samsung
the
commercial.
BTS boys, Dad. I know. Actually,
Uh,
BTS was singing live on TV. I don't know. What was that a couple months ago? And my dad was
well, I know
like,
they've been on a few night shows. They usually do
they
like a
were on
lot
an
of like Good Morning
yeah.
America night shows.
I think they were on like Good Morning America, and he's like, "Look, it's the BTS boys." I was like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "I pay
That's
attention."
amazing. He's taking notes. He's trying
It's
to be hip.
awesome. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, good job, Dad. He, but he really likes music and he likes listening to music from around the world, so he's familiar.
Oh, that's good.
So it's not that
Hmm.
strange, but it was just like, oh, good job. I liked your opening that you did, by the way. You had a very lovely live stream.
Oh, opening. Oh, which one was it? Because I did two recently. There was, what did I open? Oh, it was the one Taman's third mini album when I bought four of those.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
there was
then
that. Was it
I did another
BTS?
one where well the other one I did, it was like a mix. I had some like anime merch that I opened, and
Yes, yes,
then
that one. That was fun.
I opened some CDs from Shiny, and then
Yes,
there was the BTS box, the advent calendar thing.
yes, I loved that. I just think it's so interesting the way Korean groups and like K-pop, J-pop, all of that, they have such interesting merchandise. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yes,
the
they do.
packaging is pretty and they have all these like different unique items. I love that you like the cards now. Like that makes me happy.
Oh my god. I'm obsessed. It's bad.
That's
Like,
so great.
K-pop has like, I don't want to say ruined my life, but it definitely has consumed my life.
Oh, any
But I
new
feel
obsession.
like, yeah, but I feel like I wasn't really into like, wasn't feeling the figures, and I was like, should I sell them? Should I only keep a few? And like, I haven't sold any because I'm still like, I kind of like it, but I just don't like enjoy it as much. So I don't like follow like my figure collection and like look at all the new
Sure,
figures that are
sure.
coming out all the time and stuff like that.
No,
But
totally, totally.
like I'm just such a collector. Like I've been collecting for as long as I can remember. Like I still collect the Smash Pennies.
You do. I always
Um,
think about that whenever I see one. I haven't seen a Smash Penny machine since Ohio, though.
there is a website where you can look up and they'll tell you where machines are.
Oh my god, I love
I,
stuff like that.
I think it's pennypress.com, I think is what it is. But it's really helpful because especially if you're going like on a vacation somewhere and you're like, hey, is there any like machines? Like, are you going to be near a machine or something like that where you know to be like, oh, I can get it at like, you know, this gas station because they randomly have one, and sometimes they'll even have
Right.
like the history of like the different prints that they've had at that machine.
Oh, I love that. I'm such a collecting nerd. I'm like, give me the weird, obscure history. Columbus Zoo used to have a penny press machine. I don't know if they kept it, but you could like flip through a book and see all the old coins, like
Oh,
from when
that's
the zoo
cool.
opened now, and they were like, this year we featured the penguin, and this year we featured the gorilla. And it was like, oh, okay. I flipped through that for
That's
way
pretty
longer
cool.
than I should have.
That's like that's kind of nice that they held on to that because some places just retire it and come out with a new machine or new prints or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, there's
Um,
some things where it's never meant to be like collected for long, you know. It was never
mhm.
thought about the longevity of it, but everyone has something they like that they're willing to collect.
When I went to Disney last, I obviously got a whole bunch there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get some for my niece and nephew and just see. Like, they really liked patches. And I think they like patches because my niece is a Girl Scout and she's like, I want all the
Oh,
patches. Like, that's like
yeah.
her goal is to get every single one she possibly can. So, of course, it's carrying over to my nephew. And I was like, well, I'll just get them if they don't like it. It's not like I spent a whole bunch of money on it or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
just something for
something.
them to have or whatever. Apparently, they love them. And they started asking my sister, like, hey, mom, where can we get more of these?
Oh no.
So then she's like, I found this awesome website, pennypress.com. And I was like, girl, I know. I've been there.
You're like, oh honey,
I've
that's been
used it.
old news up in here. We got all the pennies. We do all the smash.
I even, when we had the solar eclipse a couple years ago, I think it was like, what, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, that was
There
recent. Yeah.
was there was this company that was doing smash pennies of it. So I bought one.
Oh, nice. That's actually really cool. Because
I actually
it's a
bought two because
moment.
I was like, well, what if I run into somebody who's like, oh my god, I wish I had that? I'd be like, I've got an extra.
You are like the type of collector that makes sure other collectors are enjoying their collections as well. You know, like if you need it, I have the
I
extra.
Right, I do because I was on TikTok and there was a girl. I don't really know. I think it was like her sister or something, someone was turning like maybe 30 because it said like 30 days of gifts. And
Oh,
she like
okay,
pick a
cool.
random thing and it would have a number and like it would correspond with a present. Well, she opened one and it was like a signed K-pop album. And someone in the comments said, "Oh my God, how did you get that signed?" And she just goes, "Oh, secret." I was like, no, no,
Oh, oh,
we're not gatekeeping this. This is not how this rolls. I was like, oh, you can go to
yeah.
M-Wave. M-Wave will do a lot of signed albums that you can get, and they're
See,
official. They're
yeah,
real.
that's such an important thing in the collecting community. Like, no matter what it is, share. Let people
Right.
know. Like, I collect a
Yes.
lot of animation cells, and people are always interested, like, where do you get those? And it's like, oh, well, Mandarake sells them, or, you know, there's these 3 very good eBay sellers that have these collections straight from Japan. And I like letting people know about that because I want to see people enjoy their collections. Like,
Right.
I don't
Because
know.
also maybe there'll be a cell that they really like, but not many other people would like. And it
Yeah,
also helps the seller and the companies because then they can reach more of an audience and reach more of those collectors that may be looking for those things.
yeah, and it just helps keep the fandom for that going. Like, you know, if you
Hmm.
like this
It
thing, wouldn't you
does.
want it to keep going?
Right. I hate it when people try to like keep it for themselves because like I like the idea of signed things. I feel like they're a little bit more
Oh yeah, for
special. Like
sure.
I have a signed um print that I got from, it has Prompto and Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. So it has
Oh,
Robbie Daymond
pretty.
and Ray
Oh,
Chase signed it.
Ray
And
Chase
it's like
sings
I
so
have
nice.
another picture signed by Morgan Berry. And then I do have 3 signed K-pop albums. But like I'm gonna like if someone asks, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?" I mean, this is how I got this. This is where I got this. Like, there's one signed album that I have that it's like I literally won this in a lottery
Yeah,
from
there
the
are things like
company.
that.
Like they don't sell these. They didn't even sell these physically. These were literally just for like press releases and for this. Like, I wish I could tell you where to buy one for
Yeah.
yourself, but I just can't. It doesn't exist. But like I would be honest, I'm not gonna be like, oh, secret. I'm gonna be like, I mean, hey, I won this in a lottery through his company that he signed with, and I don't think that they actually physically sold these. So you're just gonna have to like follow him and see if he does more signed albums in the future.
I'm over here like nodding,
But
like yes, yes, I understand this.
right.
No,
And
it's
it's just
true.
it
It's true.
because then it's like, what if I get someone into it and then they get, and it's like I have another person that I could be like, hey, oh my God, did you see this? And like start talking about it and stuff like that. But it's, if you keep it to yourself, then you may not actually ever meet or get somebody else into a hobby.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing that really bothers me because people are like, "Oh, anime community this, K-pop community that, whatever, whatever." But it's like
Hmm.
it really isn't. It depends who you're talking to and where, you know, you get that information and how you're actually communicating. Like, I always want my channel to be a space where, like, if I'm collecting chirishi or mini posters, like, I want to be able to tell someone, this is where I got them, and you can get them too, and maybe this hobby will continue. It really does kind of almost depend who you run into and who, like, gets
Right.
recommended to you as well.
Where to find really cheap manga, or where to find anime DVD sales, or where can you get secondhand things, or like especially if it's secondhand anything anime, I'm always going to recommend Mandarake
Yeah.
unless it's really weird, like oh, what is it, Goods Republic, I think it is.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of things from them, but I
They
don't go
sometimes
to
can
them
have
often.
some very, right, because they're kind of expensive. I feel like they're very
Yeah,
expensive.
I
They
think
do
that's the
free
why.
shipping, so I think it's just the
Yeah,
shipping cost built into the cost of the item.
yeah, that's true. And being aware of that and having someone say to you like, "Oh, this is why, you know, the shipping is like this." Or like I like to warn people like, "Hey, yeah, I've bought from this place before, this seller, but the shipping can be a little long. Are you okay with that?" Like that
Mm-hmm.
always helps to say things like that. But yeah, I've never had an
Right.
issue with Goods Republic. And they do have some like interesting items, like things that I don't
Mm-hmm.
see on Mandarake or Ami Ami.
Right, because I've seen some things that it's like maybe like a store exclusive or something that where you have to go to a store. And I think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
will do orders to be able to like with that store. So like Ami Ami won't do things like that, or like Hobby Link Japan, they don't do stuff like that. But Goods Republic, they're more likely to find, you're more likely to find things like that there.
Or like just finding like cafe items, like the specialty cafe
Yes.
anime items, that can be hard. So there's certain eBay sellers that specialize in it, or Goods Republic or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I just haven't
Right.
been collecting a lot lately because of a move, so I'll get back into the
Right.
full swing soon.
Yep. Logging into your accounts and then the website being like, oh, it's been a
Oh,
while. Here's a coupon.
girl, it's the worst. I'm just like, or the we don't recognize this computer. That drives me up the wall. I'm like, it's the same.
Or the cat where it's like, click the images that show a sidewalk. I hate
What?
those.
They have to go away. There's just no point. There's just no point to that anymore. I love the jokes where people are like, what about this one? And there's like a corner of a bike tire. Does this count as
Yes,
bike or
it's like,
not?
right, exactly. Or it's like, click on the images that have the stop sign. Do you include the post of the stop sign?
Oh yeah, no, that never even crossed my mind, but you're totally right. Oh no.
Like,
How did I ever get through before?
right? Because they asked you about cars and you just clicked on all the cars. Like, a car is a car, regardless. But like
I was
a
like,
stop
beep beep,
sign,
give
like,
me
are
my
you
stuff.
looking at? Just let me log in and spend my money. Please.
I feel like Pretty Woman. I have money. I have money.
I have
Let
money.
me
Stop
buy the
spending
anime
it,
figure, please.
please, please, and thank you.
Please, sir. I want the anime.
What? Speaking of figures, what was the last figure that you purchased? If you remember.
I have two that are sitting that I've been meaning to talk about. Oh, One Piece figures. I have a couple of One Piece figures
I'm
from the
not shocked.
Stampede movie. Yeah, they were a good sale, and I was like, I want those.
I buy. Thank you.
I want. Thank you.
Start slowly moving things into the living room and seeing what happens.
Oh yeah, no, I could do that anyway. No one cares. Hell, I built the house. I can put whatever I want wherever I want.
It's my house.
I mean,
I built it.
blood, sweat, and tears went into this. I think I can put up a figure.
Yes, blood, sweat, tears, and a whole bunch of stress.
Oh my god. Don't even get me started on that. But yeah, I am officially moved. Everything's good now. It took a while,
That's
but
amazing.
how fun is it to just decorate a new room? Because I love your pictures on Twitter where you have your pink room and all of your merch and your shelves up. So
It's
cute.
funny because Shannon is like, so when are you gonna actually like record like a room tour? She goes, and then I was like, I don't know. I keep me like I'll clean it and then something happens and then I don't have room and then it's like I'm really bad with cleaning, like terrible at cleaning. My main issue is I hate folding laundry.
Oh yeah,
I
I
hate
always
it.
have to put something on, like a movie.
Yes.
That's the only
Yep.
way I ever get anything.
I did actually put on Little Nemo and I started putting some clothes away. But then I started getting tired and I was like, well, I guess I gotta go to bed.
I guess I watch Nemo. No, it's true. There are certain movies that you can put on and you know them so well that there's such good background
Yep.
noise that that's your.
Hmm.
It's not like the best movie in the world, but I know the Professor Layton movie, like forwards and backwards, because it's literally my, oh, I need to do laundry. I guess I'm watching Layton again movie. I can't explain why.
I used to do that with the Sailor Moon movies a lot.
Oh, I
A
miss my
lot.
VHSs. Isn't that sad? Like they took up
No.
so much space, and yet I'm like, I wish I kept them.
I think I still have my Sailor Moon one somewhere in a box at my dad's because I know I have some Sailor Moon
Jealous,
stuff that I haven't
jealous.
seen in a while. I have the VHSs and then I have the old like Dream box set of the movies. And
Oh
then
my
I
god,
do
cool.
have season 1, the really pretty boxes that Viz, I think it was Viz. Was it Viz? ADV. The really pretty
The
boxes
DVD
ADV
sets?
did. The like
Were
they're blue.
yeah, were they were DVD sets, right?
Yes, they were DVD
Yeah.
sets. They were really pretty blue with like silhouettes, but like the quality was
Oh no, really?
oh yeah, really.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
They shoved so many episodes onto one DVD that it looks like it's not remastered at all. It like does not have a
It's
good
like crying
quality
as
at
you run
all.
it and you're like, "Oh no."
You're like, "Oh, yeah, that looks like watching on my old TV when I was in elementary school and watching Sailor Moon."
Sometimes I love
Wow.
that because it has that like I remember the TV I had in my room that I used to put my VHSs in. Like I was the cool kid. I had a TV that had the built-in VCR. The thing was like a huge brick, but for some reason, sometimes just seeing that old like film grain and stuff is really nostalgic to me. Other times you're like, I didn't buy a nice TV to see this shit.
I did learn something about when a lot of stuff was being like re-released on Blu-rays, and that was if it wasn't made and originally released on a Blu-ray, it's not going to look any better on a Blu-ray unless it's an animated film or movie.
Yeah, because there's different scales for like cells. Like oversized cells will always be a better quality to upscale because it has the size and depth to do that. But like your
Mm-hmm.
average cells that most companies would throw out after use or clean the cell sheet and reuse, like that
Mm-hmm.
just is recorded in a certain scale. I don't know the exact details, but it's like a big issue. And I know a lot of people are like, well, if it's going to come out on a Blu-ray, I want it like upscaled, upgraded, completely cleaned and polished. And it's like, yeah, no, you see, if you really want that for something like that, like someone would have to hand do it frame by frame. So
It's not going to happen.
yeah, it just doesn't happen with everything. With some things, it's like amazing how good the masters are,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get like
For
the nice
sure.
stuff. I think it only bothers me when it's newer shows that don't, look good on DVD. For example, I have the Gankutsuo DVDs. That show is gorgeous. That DVD looks rotten. I don't know how it looks that bad. Like that show was made in 2006. It shouldn't be that blurry.
Ooh,
Yeah, no,
that
it's
sucks.
it's a great show, but man, that DVD quality. That's one that I'm really like, oh man, I hope they do a Blu-ray release that's like really nice.
Yeah, that's weird. Because I mean, especially if it didn't look like that, like on like anywhere else,
Oh
but on
no,
that
when
release.
when it originally aired, it was crisp,
Hmm.
at least to my
I wonder if
knowledge.
they downscaled it to fit space on the DVD, or
Maybe,
why even
maybe.
try to downscale it to do that? Just put it on a Blu-ray.
I honestly can't say, like I haven't looked into it enough, but yeah, that's one that I'm like,
That'd be
oh,
weird.
I'll rebuy that when it becomes nicer, I guess.
Hopefully, I pray for you that you get what you want.
I can live with it. You know what? There was a time where it used to be like illegally downloading the little blurry like 32 by 32s, which I don't do
Take an
anymore.
entire day.
Yeah, oh
No,
god. It used to take so long. Do you remember?
God.
You'd have to like download it in parts and it's like part 6 of episode 13. And you're like, "What
Yep.
part am I on?"
Yeah, I can't remember what did I just download for 2 days?
We are
And
spoiled
if
for
you're like
anime media
me,
now. We really are. It's a
oh,
much better age now.
oh, for sure. I get so frustrated when people are like, "Oh, just watch it on this illegal streaming website," and it's like, but you can watch it legally. Yeah, you may have to play ads to watch it for free, but at the same time, it just irks me,
Pay people
especially
for their
when
work.
people,
Like,
right, like
yeah.
do it legally because I mean, that's what happened to Nanbaka. So many people were illegally distributing the manga because I found out that the company that was making the anime told the manga artist, they said, as long as your manga does good, we'll continue making seasons.
Oh,
And
okay.
then people started bootlegging the manga, so his sales dropped.
Oh,
So then
no.
the anime got dropped.
That sucks because that anime is great.
I loved it too, and like season two, just kind of like I was like, oh, okay, what? That just didn't conclude at all. Where's season three? And then that's when I found out. I was like, oh my god, this is so annoying, so frustrated.
Yeah, yeah, people don't see the long-term effects of that. Well, some people see it, some
No.
people don't, but I think it's
Mm-hmm.
also just very hard to convince people when they're either A, used to it, or B, just don't have the time or money to go through legal routes. But, me as a person with my own money, I'm gonna go legal routes. There's enough stuff to watch where I can just do that.
There's so much content, and there's so many like people give out free Crunchyroll codes all the time because if you pay for it, you get like one a month for like a week or 2 weeks or something, and it's like, what am I going to use this
Yeah,
for?
it does suck when it's something that just doesn't come out here and you want it so bad. That's the part that I'm just like, oh no.
I have watched things illegally because it's not available to
We
me.
all have. We all have. And
And
also, it
it's
also
like,
depends on what country you're in too, because some stuff just isn't in other countries. Like, we're lucky in the
right.
U.S. because so much comes here, but there are countries over in
Yeah.
Europe that like, oh, it's not streaming over there. Why? It's just not.
I mean, I get it. There's different terms and legal things, but like at the same time, it's like to the point where it's like, I don't get it. I mean, I sometimes feel bad for people in Australia. I feel like they get like a lot of games don't
Oh
come out
yeah,
there because of their certain like
yeah. They have certain
laws.
laws against things like censorship laws and stuff.
Right.
So like a lot of I know a lot of like BL and stuff just won't go through like the government approving it
Yeah.
to come in and stuff. And that always sucks.
Like they would probably have to find it online, probably use a VPN to be able to access a website where they could get it digitally if they want it digitally.
That's ultimately what happens. You know, they just change their VPN and then they can be in a certain country. Because there's also people who use VPNs to stream, like Japanese Netflix has different things than American or British
Mhm.
Netflix.
So I talked about my Smash pennies that I've been pretty much collecting that and pens my entire life. Has only
Oh, I get
Alyssa that
that.
I
Yeah,
can remember.
stationary
It's
stuff.
something you collect stationary stuff.
Stickers. I have so many stickers, like cute, kawaii, sparkly stickers. I
Do
have
you
them on
always
so
just
many
do you
things.
do you use them from time to time, or it's just like you just want to keep them as is?
No, I use them all the time. I literally just
Okay.
this weekend had like a little plastic like makeup case that I was like, this is boring. I'm gonna fill it full of stickers, and I just put stickers all over it, and it made me very happy.
Well, see, that's what I mean. I recently got into getting some stickers and kind of scrapbooking-y a little bit, like
I
things that
totally get it.
just like, oh, I watched this anime and just like cover it with like, my thoughts about it or something like that. I
Oh, that's
also
cute. I
have
like that idea.
these. I'll have to send you a picture, but I have these like waterfall frames that I have some K-pop
Oh, I
photo
do like that.
cards in them,
Yeah.
and I've decorated them with stickers.
I have a box that I keep all of my stickers in because I get like, different packs from around the world and stuff. And I just dump them all in there because it's fun. And literally the whole like inside lid is just coated in stickers.
You know what's really good if you need really small stickers is to find like the nail stickers.
I have an insane, that's the other thing, I have an insane amount of nail polish and nail stickers. You hit the nail on the head. I don't know, we are too similar or you know me too well, Gwen.
I do. I know you love your nail polish.
I have a lot. I have more than 500 or something now.
Oh my gosh.
I should downgrade.
I didn't know you had that much.
Literal but just boxes upon boxes of it. And I've actually gone through them recently and I've been taking out like ones that I can't save, like they're just too far gone and dry or too empty.
Hmm.
Like, okay, I shouldn't be moving empty bottles. That's now we're getting into Zelda crazy territory.
I usually don't go to a lot of drugstores and get nail polish anymore. I usually get it from like indie stores online.
Oh yeah, because the formulas are better.
They are. They have better options. They always have like the multi-chrome or like the holographic is more concentrated or the glitters in it is
Sparkles are more
prettier.
concentrated when you want like a shiny nail, a sparkly nail.
Mm-hmm. I like peely face masks.
Oh, those are my favorite.
I like that peeling and like everything just like peeling off and then like looking at it and seeing everything on it and it's like, yes, you
And
did
you're like, I have a
something.
new face. It's better
Baby
now.
face,
Yes.
new skin,
And then the rest of the
feel my
family's like, why are
face.
you yelling in there?
Face.
Face. But yeah. See, we are similar.
We are. See, I mean, we
Oh,
even used to live near each other in Arizona when we both lived in
that's
Arizona, which is like
okay.
mind blowing.
This is crazy. Like, we were talking about, I don't know, childhood stuff like Sailor Moon stuff we had as kids or something. And it was like,
Hmm.
yeah, well, I was inside a lot, Arizona's hot. And you were like, I do know Arizona's hot because I used to live there. And we, like, lived near the same, like, places in Phoenix or something.
Yeah, you were like 30 or 40 minutes away. Like in Phoenix
Nuts.
terms, that's like pretty
Nuts.
close.
Oh, yeah, especially out far in Arizona. Someone told me recently, like, don't go back. It doesn't look at all like what you remember. And I was like, I have no plans on going back, but thank you.
Oh yeah, tons of people. Like places that used to be just empty fields are like huge megaplexes of like shopping malls and like
Yeah,
luxury apartments.
yeah.
They build so fast out there. It is insane.
Well, like, I used
It's
to live on a
crazy.
street where it was our street, and then it was just straight saguaro cactuses all the way back because there was nothing. We were at the edge of the desert. And I
Hmm.
was telling this to somebody a while ago, and he was the one that was like, oh, bitch, it is all, like, condominiums and malls now. There's no desert there left anymore. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Like coming to the Midwest, I was kind of like weird. Like in Arizona, everyone has a fence,
Yeah, that's a big
if you
thing.
want to call it a fence.
Yeah, like the big
Uh,
concrete
cement
fence.
walls.
Yep.
Concrete
Yeah.
walls.
We
Thinking about
did.
it, I
We
was
had
like
that. You know what the
6
blocks?
to 7 feet tall. Yeah.
As children, we were all ready to be inmates.
Yeah, like literally, it was like everyone had a prison as a backyard. Like, I mean, it gives you like the
It's the
ultimate
coyotes in
privacy.
javelina. Like, you just gotta keep them
I
out.
mean, yeah, it's
They're a
yeah. I
problem.
mean, and snakes. I mean, there's a
Snakes.
lot of very deadly creatures in Arizona. There's scorpions. There's a lot of bad snakes,
the number
spiders.
the number of scorpions we had to kill, it just insane.
Oh,
Ugh, just the
and
worst.
like even like I lived in I lived in Mesa, and like there was a lot around,
Yeah,
and we still
yeah.
had
Oh, I know Mesa. I was
yeah.
in Fountain Hills. I was very close.
I don't
Like,
know where that
literally,
is.
we could have been friends as babies.
We could have, if only there was something that like an event or something that brought us together somehow.
Oh, if only, if only. That's funny. We found each
I
other now. It's
remember
fine.
exactly. That's all that matters. We, I actually remember we had a service. I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but there's a service where you can have like a company will come and like rehome geckos like around the outside of your house to like help with bug issues.
Yes, yes. I know this because we had a neighbor, and she was a very interesting woman. Her name was Vivian, and she was like hell bent on feeding the javelinas in her
Oh
yard.
Jesus.
So she like took out some of her block fence to let them in. And of
Oh,
course, once you leave food out in Arizona, it attracts everything. So we always had like rattlesnakes and Gila monsters and javelina around. And
ugh.
sometimes they would just be in our house, and she would call and they would take it away, and she'd be like, I can't hurt the nature babies. I was like, okay, but I don't want to wake up with a Gila monster in the house. Like, they don't do
Right?
anything, but you don't want them in there.
It's terrifying.
There's a lot of things you don't want in there, but they come in anyway.
Right? Oh my god. I would be traumatized. Absolutely traumatized.
That's the nice thing about the Midwest. Like, you can just, you hardly see snakes out there. Like, you see garter snakes more than anything. But back in Arizona,
Yeah.
you could be walking home and a big rattler's in front of you, and you're like, I have to jump now. I have to run.
Well, my sister told me a story where she was one of her friends was like house sitting someone's house like up in like Camelback, which is
Oh
money.
yeah, I know Camelback.
You're like, I know.
I do, I do.
And they decided she went with her and were like, hey, let's just go for a walk around the neighborhood. Well, Camelback kind of has a lot of desert still around.
Yeah, it's very rough out that way.
And they ran into a coyote
Yeah,
and it stared at them. And
yeah.
then one of them turned around and saw one behind them. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
because they do, they surround.
yep, they surround and they'll only attack you if you're not like, you have to keep looking at them. So they had to walk back to back, just staring at them constantly so they wouldn't attack until they
I
got back to the house.
It's so crazy. I remember being a kid and we used to have time out of classroom time to talk about, like, this is what you do when coyotes surround you. You have to yell at them to go away because they don't like screaming. You have to stare at them so they don't come up to you. I remember, like,
Yep.
you have to avoid wind spiders. They are very dangerous. And, like, we had classes and, like, lessons about, like, this is what happens if you get lost in the desert, and this is how long it takes till you will die of dehydration. It was like, we were children. We were, like, in
Yeah.
third grade, but that's just how you grow up in Arizona.
Yeah, they have to teach you survival skills. Like they'll have someone from like the zoo, like they're from the Phoenix Zoo, bring on a whole bunch of like spiders and snakes and be like, "This is what this
Yeah,
looks like.
we had that
This
too.
spider is okay. This one, don't run away.
Don't go
Don't
near
go
it.
near the spider."
We
Yep.
had a guy come bring stuff like that. Like, I don't remember which one got out. Might have been one of his bigger spiders, but like we had to clear the school and they had to go find it. It just it got out from the man who was supposed to keep us safe from it.
Everyone go home.
It was wild. It was so funny and awful, but funny.
That's nuts. That's funny.
Oh my
Mm,
god. Well,
good
Gwen,
old
thank
childhood.
you. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. I've needed this so
Yeah.
bad, and you are just an absolute delight. I want you to tell everyone where to find you and all of your podcast
Uh,
goodness.
I mean, I'm always on Twitter, cooking koala to underscore zero. I do have a YouTube channel that I'm not very consistent at. At what is it called? Koala's Room. It's
Yeah,
called
Koala's Room.
Koala's Room. I want to do more with it. I just haven't had like the motivation or like really
You will. You'll
inspiration.
find the time.
So
Yeah.
I'll get there. I've been really liking live streaming when I like get things and like want to share it and stuff like that. So I do that from time to time, and I don't know, maybe I'll find something that I want to
You will. Yeah,
constantly
you are
record
so
about.
much
So
fun, and you're such a nice part of the community and collecting. And
oh,
I love
thank
chatting with
you.
you. I think you're so nice, and I want everyone to come and check you out and check out your podcasts.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yay! All right, everyone, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you to Gwen. Go ahead and follow her on Twitter at cookingkoala2_0. It is up on the screen right now. And I'm going to do a few more of these. This is fun. I want to chat with everybody about what they're watching and what they're collecting.
I want to. I That's what I love. I like to know what people are like collecting. Like, what are you spending your money on? I want to
Tell me
know
the things. Tell me the things.
all things.
Yeah, no, it's so fun. It's so cool. And yeah, I've got so many people that, I would just want to chat with. So we're going to do it here on the Val Kay Chats section. So see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody.
Bye.